On to you, Leo. So you have the Nine of Cups, the Hanged Man, and you have the Queen of Wands. So for you, you represent how you Leos represent how basically you are very confident around at this time. It's a quiet confidence, though. It's quite different than how you used to be when you were younger. When you were much younger, you would try to, you couldn't hold it in. But now a lot of you Leos understand that you can't necessarily express your happiness all the time to everybody, because people will try to rip that away from you, right? Get it from you. And a lot of you Leos do feel confident. You very much so feel good about your disposition in life and where it is that you're going. And the things that the Hierophant and the Six of Pentacles right here represents how, and since that's the case, a lot of you have to very much so be very aware of yourself. This calls for a time where you Leos have to be very aware of yourself, very aware of your own happiness, because of, the Hierophant, like I said, in the Six of Pentacles. People will try to take that away from you. They'll try to take your happiness and stuff like this away from you. They will. You Leos are very much so single, and you are a very good match for anyone. Really, you're a very good match for anyone. You are very much so well-rounded. It's just that as you continue to date, you Leos are going to have a lot of fun, and you are having a lot of fun, even though obviously in certain elements it doesn't seem like it, but you are having fun in the sense that you, and this is fun to know that you've actually been the one. Okay, because the way that some people have told you, they treated you like you trash. But the way that it actually is in reality is you're valuable. But some people will treat you like you trash. So what you Leos are realizing from your own personal experience is that you being trash is not true, because your experiences don't give way to you being trash. See, some people, this is the thing. You can misinterpret that you're trash, right? Mistakenly, based upon your lack of success in certain areas. But based upon further examination, you will realize, right, from paying attention and examining your life, that yes, things are difficult for you in this particular area, in the area of love, right? If you're so great, why is it that you can't necessarily attract anyone? And touche. But then at the same time, when you examine this and you come to find out that, well, people aren't a bed of roses either. They're not amazing either, right? You interact with them and they're showing you why they're not a very good option. It can't be a clean slate where it's a person that is a person that is a clean slate. You know what I mean? Just like fruit just falling off of the tree, ready to eat. You understand what I'm saying? And it's always has to be some sort of deal breaker. It always has to be some sort of real deal breaker. It can't be something where obviously, everybody has flaws, whatever, but there's no real deal breakers, right? Person has little ones, the person is in a ton of debt. You understand what I'm saying? The person is just clean. Yeah, they have flaws. Everything in existence has flaws. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something that you look at and you go, oh my gosh, this just, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my gosh. You don't see that. You Leos don't see that. You see a lot of broken people. And the Six of Pentacles, a lot of broken people expecting you to save them. And I'm going to be real with you, and it's going to sound messed up to say it, but it sounds comforting that sounds absolute, or it should sound comforting to you, because it should sound exceptionally comforting, because how does it feel to know that all the times you may have faked yourself out, had that type of inner talk about how you're trash, how you're useless, how those people got to you? How does it feel to know that in reality, that's not actually what happened? What happened is you were actually the one that was valuable the whole time, but people had to pick at you. You know, people had to chip away at you over an extended period of time because they're on some dysfunction. And now this is why it is that I say that I love the dating pool, and I love the way that it's actually going. It needs to get worse, because because that is how it is that this is how things go back to a form. This is how things get healthier. You actually have to make sense of what is pure confusion. Confusion is what it is that we are striving to walk away from. Confusion is the thing that we are striving to get away from. We have to make things make sense. And if we are going to date, everything has to get to a point where people want clarity. So once again, it should be comforting, because it means that you Leos wasn't the ones that was trash and was losers and that was bums the whole time, because they lied. So now the thing is that the Ten of Wands and the Queen of Swords represents how, since that's the case, right, or to them, you were a bum or a loser, but they're warped. So you can't necessarily take what it is that they have to say too seriously, because they're not looking at things from a point of clarity. You understand? So the Ten of Wands and the Queen of Swords here represents, and since that's the case, it means that you Leos actually were the ones that were valuable. You can change your circumstance. And and see, that's the thing. You Leos are already on the path of changing your circumstance. You're doing what it is that you need to do from your own detective skills. You're already figuring it out. It's already in the process of figuring itself out. You can't take some of these people seriously. So don't. That is the answer. Do not take people seriously that want to waste your time. Do not take them seriously. You're literally coming up with the answer. You just don't understand how intelligent you are. Don't take people that want to waste your time seriously. Don't. Don't take them seriously. Don't. You're already coming up with one of the answers amongst many, right? So what's going to happen? The Ace of Pentacles, because this is a sign that you are valuing yourself. You are beginning to understand that you weren't the problem. Okay, you're not perfect. You were a part of the problem in certain cases, but you're starting to understand that, generally speaking, you brought a lot of the value in a lot of your relationships. And once again, that's comforting. That should be comforting for you, because the reason why it is I'm saying that is because to know that you were never the one that was garbage. You were never the Ray Ray. You were never the Pookie. You were never the one, the Pookisha. You were never the one that was trash to begin with, right? The person that was just garbage. You were the person that had value while other people would call you trash. They either really thought that you were trash because they had a warped mentality, right? A confused mentality themselves, or they told you that you were bums or you were losers or you were lame because they straight up and down lied. So it should be comforting to now come back to the beginning now, to where now you realize you're as confident as you were when you were a young lion first now wanting to date. But this time around, right, now that you're going back to the source, it's different slightly, because now, remember the first time that you ever wanted to date somebody, how that felt. You didn't have the knowledge. Now you have the knowledge, wisdom, and the experience, as well as the innocent. This is what I'm talking about. Going back to that source, that childlike innocence, right? That teenage-like innocence where it's still pure, but at the same time, you have the knowledge and the wisdom and the experience now. You know what to do now. You know how to do it. You have the knowledge that's gained from the experience and the wisdom and everything. So now it's your misconceptions about, yeah, you had a pure heart, but part of why it is that you may have stumbled a bit when you were a teenager when it comes to the element of love and being sociable and social, and the stumbles that you've made and stuff like this. You made those things with a lack of knowledge before, because this was your first time experiencing it. Now that you Leos are older, you get to experience what it feels like to be innocent and to be pure, like your teenage years, but then at the same time still be in a situation where you have the knowledge and the wisdom gained. That's beautiful, because now you have that same, or you're developing that same level of confidence without having to be overly confident, while at the same time knowing what to do. Because when you're a teenager and stuff like this, or when you're real young, right, under the age of, I want to say about 25, right, you don't even know. Let's be even real. When you're under the age of 21, right, you lack that level of experience because you don't know, right? You're in your first 20 years of age. You're literally in your first 20 years of your age, right? Of your life. I mean, so you lack so much experience because you're literally in your first 20. So unless you're a genius and you figured things out ahead of time, which buys you time, because of the fact that you Leos are here, you understand that level of importance and confidence, right? Without having to stink up the place with overconfidence and stuff like this. It's more so of you know what to do because of the wisdom and the experience, right? And if things fail, shrugs your shoulders, right? It is what it is at the end of the day, because you did what you had to do. And shout out to all the people who gives me super thanks, appreciate it. And you get to a point where, once again, the Eight of Swords and the Page of Wands right here represents how a lot of you very much so are in a situation where, you know, there's not a whole lot of fear that comes with this. There's not a whole lot of fear that comes with this, because you can now get to know people without having to have this burden of like, oh, what exactly is going on, right? What's up? You know, you know, what if the person calls you trash? Then they call you trash. You know, maybe they're working with an ulterior motive. 9 chances out of 10, they're working with an ulterior motive. So let's clarify the Page of Wands. Oh, and the Page of Wands, you still bring people value, though. Everybody has good and bad, right? So let's clarify the Page of Wands. The Magician, 5 of Pentacles, King of Wands, Chariot, 8 of Cups. These 5 cards right here for you. Again, and that's the Magician. That represents what the Magician is. Transmutation, among other things, right? Changing the nature of something into something else, right? So the thing is that the 5 of Pentacles represents how, and a lot of people are not gonna see, that's the other catch-22 of it too. The 5 of Pentacles, King of Wands, Chariot. A lot of people not gonna know how you think. They're gonna think that you lost your mind. I'm just going to be 100. They're going to think that you lost your mind. The point that I'm trying to make here is, when you get wisdom and experience, right? Now that you Leos have a certain amount of understanding when it comes to dating and stuff like this, and you understand your importance, that a lot of that stuff was either a warped mentality or a cap. And yeah, you messed up in certain situations, but as long as you learn from your lessons and you do better, you change your outlook, you're on the correct track. You're all right. You're good. The people who are going to think of you as losing your mind, they just haven't come into the realization yet. See, again, with the whole Yoda situation, right? I talk about the Yoda situation, right? When they went to actually go find Yoda for the time, and I've never seen I've never seen a full Star Wars movie in my life. I think the stuff is boring, but that's just me. I rock with Dune, which came before Star Wars, but whatever. The point that I'm trying to make here with that is, you remember when they were trying to find Yoda and how Yoda wasn't necessarily what it is that they expected, right? Same thing with Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks turned out to be the strongest Star Wars character in the entire franchise. And he's being seen as the fool. Why? Because Jar Jar Binks is a character that people think is a bumbling idiot. But when you actually pay attention to it, Jar Jar Binks is he's not a bumbling idiot. Not only is he not a bumbling idiot, he's actually the teacher of is it Sid Vicious? Is it Darth Vicious? Is it Sid? No, I think Sid Vicious is a wrestler. But shout outs to Sid Vicious, by the way. But Darth Sidious, right? Darth Sidious. I don't even. Anyway, Darth Sidious, the person who became emperor of the universe, stuff like this. He's actually the mentor or the teacher of Darth Sidious. Darth Sidious. So when you reach that point, people gonna think that you out of your mind. I have people who think I'm out of my mind, but they don't get it. They don't be understanding anything that I be saying when I'm breaking it down. They don't understand anything that I be saying. And the Eight of Cups represents, so you Leos need to kick your feet up, relax, stop giving yourself such a hard time. You're doing what is necessary. You cannot, the chances of you being in a relationship in a world full of confusion, the chances of those things becomes less and less. So you cannot get upset with yourself. You're doing what you have to do to get a good person for yourself to be in a relationship with. But then at the same time, you cannot force the situation. So trust the process. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Peace.